My company, Bootleg Avocado, established a few years ago doing consulting work for early stage food startups. Our mission, at least in the cannabis and food space, is to really lead innovation, lead collaboration on a global scale to really help bridge the gap that exists when certain entrepreneurs or food businesses kind of jump into that intersection of food and cannabis. There's so many different segments in the food world, anywhere from consumer product goods to restaurants to food tech and ag tech, that there's a lot of different segments in which cannabis can really jump into this. So for this event, we want to really kick it off and doing a really overview of okay, let's just get to know each industry a little bit. Once we kind of have this event, we're actually going to do another one in a few months to really focus on different segments of that intersection. Right now, it's going through a lot of legislation, and obviously the FDA needs to really get involved and actually rule over that. So what we're trying to do is right now, there's a lot of CBD infused food still already in New York City, and a lot of these companies need exposure. A lot of these companies need a little bit of guidance so they can be able to scale. They are kind of the mom and pops of the city. So we're really trying to help them connect to better connections in the food world. That way they can help and scale their companies when it's the right time. It really comes down to your ingredients and respecting your ingredients. So when I say that, I mean anywhere from dosing to also where you're sourcing your ingredients, whether it be cannabis or not. The same applies to the food side. So when you come up with a food product on your own, you want to make sure that it's higher quality. You want to make sure that you are really providing the customer with a full-on experience. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. The good thing is there's a lot of marketplaces out there and platforms that do give you information and transparency of those products. So what I would say is, go to some of those trusted sources and really look to see, what those recommendations are. And, it's one of those things that word of mouth really travels a really long way. So it's good to go to one of those trusted sources and just making sure that transparency is there. As I kind of really, started putting together this event series, I did realize that the same issues happen in both industries. In the food side, they're going through a very exponential growth, just like the cannabis side. The food side years ago has been hit in a way that's kind of there's been a lot of setbacks as far as they've gone big food businesses instead of really keeping the smaller businesses and allow them to grow. And same in the cannabis side. Right now, obviously there's a ton of traffic there, there's a ton of volume, but is that going to happen in the cannabis side as well? So, what I want to make sure is that we are representing those entrepreneurs and trailblazers in both industries and really helping connect them with the right people. BootlegAvocado.com, for the most part, I answer all my emails. And then, really social media and a couple other avenues, but Bootleg Avocado is mainly where you can find me.